Brisbane stable, Peter Nucky riding.
I'll be waiting on the attendant.
Whiting on My Lady Fair for Lou, and we're set.
Clear!
Racing now from the 1,000 metres and getting away fast. Don't Let Tomo Go, but now burning is My Fair Lady. Whack and Tanker began nicely. Prince of Promises was a little bit slowly away. Drives through to be fourth on the inside. Just ahead of it, Wider Out is Flying Target. And then Mega Talk is in the centre. Caught out a shade wide on the track is Only a Rose trying to press forward. Down on the inside and over racing is Free Thoughts. Just ahead of it, Ginger and Spice from Don't Let Tomo Go. And Great Charade and Pike last of all, about 8 from the leader, Whack and Tanker, who leads a long neck and is going well from My Fair Lady. Prince of Promises put under pressure over on the inside. On the outside, Flying Target. Deep out, Only a Rose. And Great Charade's about to get to the outside, but Whack and Tanker's going strongly at the 200. The heavily backed horse from the Parnham Yard leads from My Fair Lady. Prince of Promises over on the inside. My Fair Lady won't go away though. It's Whack and Tanker. My Fair Lady. Now Prince of Promises is really starting to pick up. Prince of Promises comes hard, drives to the lead from My Fair Lady, and Prince of Promises comes away to beat My Fair Lady by 3/4. 1.5 Whack and Tanker, who got tired late. 4 lengths to Great Charade, and then Flying Target, followed by Mega Talk. Well back in the field it was Free Thoughts, and then came Don't Let Tomo Go, and tailed off last, Only a Rose. Prince of Promises has dug deep over the final stages, was niggled out on the corner to pick up, took a long time, but has wound up strongly from McGruddy. And McGruddy is on another very well fancied Miller horse later on to try and make it a double. 280 and 120. Prince of Promises. My Fair Lady at $3 and Whack and Tanker at $1.30. 310 and 4. Great Charade will be fourth and a distant fourth after the running of race number 1. Fifth home is Free Thoughts, Sasha Starley. And the horse a little bit wayward there on the finishing line. Difficult to handle there. Free Thoughts going over the post. The winner at 250 it started, Prince of Promises. It's done the job well. Quinella 24.70, 31.40 exacta, trifecta 69.40, first for 149. PF Bell, J Corona and B Cameron in the ownership, a gelding by Planet 5 out of Gelsinga, a Dana Singer mare for Simon Miller and Sean McGruddy. Let's go downstairs. Brittany having a chat with Simon.
Thanks very much, Richie. And when we spoke to him pre-race, there was a fair degree of confidence. He said the owners had been told to have a bet, and he'd had a bet himself. So they came into that pretty confident. But I think there would have been a few nervous moments when they were on the back of Whack and Tanker and just looking for that run. Sean McGruddy had to put the whip in his left and find that run up on the inside. But when the split finally came, it was exactly as Simon said. He mentioned that the horse had a nice, short, sharp sprint, and that's exactly what we saw on display.
Yeah, look, I think that's probably better than average Wednesday maiden. I think the format it will stack up. I think there's some nice horses in the race, topped off by the winner there, Prince of Promises for Simon Miller. And
the punters certainly got it right too with the top 4. It was exactly as the market predicted, albeit that the 10 My Fair Lady ran in the placings instead of Great Charade, but they did round out the top 4. And Simon, well, this is where you can say I told you so, because you told everyone on course and Sky International that today was the day to have a bet on this horse.
It was, Brittany. He still did a lot of things wrong, like he zonked the start, and when Shooter fired him up to get on the back of it, I was a bit nervous because I knew he'd get trucking at some stage, and he did. And then he over-raced and come off the gate. He's still work in progress, but it was nice. That gap probably wasn't there at one stage, and he was hesitant, but he zipped through good. So he was strong late, which I was surprised.
How nervous were you in the straight when he was on the back of Whack and Tanker looking for that gap? Did you know from knowing the horse, did you think he would take a gap?
I thought he could. I wasn't too worried because I thought if there's a lot of money for that horse, and I thought we were on the back of it, so at least it'll take us into the straight. But it was a good win, and he's getting better. Like, he still does a few things wrong, and it was evident in running, but he'll get there. When he does, he's a nice horse in the making.
How do you compare him from his 2-year-old season now as a 3-year-old? How has he developed?
He's better at home, much better, but clearly off today, he's not race day, so he'll figure it out. We just wanted to go softly with him and drop him into a midweek. We went first start ever in a Saturday last year and nearly pulled the coup off, but he'll be all right. He's just work in progress. I might just pick off another midweek before we progress to a Saturday.
Well, congratulations on this win.
Thanks, Brittany.
Simon Miller there with the trainer of Prince of Promises, and we'll speak to Sean McGrady in just a second about just how this horse raced. As Simon mentioned, a bit of a work in progress. The horse that has shown immaturity in the past certainly has come on since that 2-year-old season, showing a lot more maturity. But Shooter, he wasn't the easiest of customers, still doing a few things wrong.
Yeah, look, I haven't ridden him before, and Simon said don't move on him out the gates, and he's actually on the back foot. He was a touch slow away. But then I just give him a squeeze and got onto the back of one of the favourites in Whack and Tanker. And round the turn, I probably could have come round him, but I wasn't really going good enough, so I thought, oh, well, I'll just stay here and save a bit of ground and hopefully run second or third. But to his credit, the further we went into the straight, the more he knuckled down.
You put the whip into the left, the reason there?
Yeah, he was just wanting to lay in a touch. And on new and green horses, it's as much as a bit of a surprise as anything, but seemed to do the trick today.
Did you feel like he was always going to take the gap, or were you nervous at some stages?
Oh, look, that's what happened, actually. Around the turn, I didn't think we were going that good, so I thought I'll stay here, and then all of a sudden, he wound up, and then I just needed the gap, which I was lucky enough to get on the inside.
Well done, congratulations on the win.
Thanks, Brittany.
Sean McGrady there, partnering with Simon Miller to take out the first, the Gamble Aware maiden with Prince of Promises.